Iran has published a startling hit list naming high-profile figures, and the roster includes former US President Donald Trump, Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu, and several other prominent international politicians. Observers and commentators are debating loudly because one conspicuous name was left off Iran's list, and that omission has set off intense speculation across media and diplomatic circles. In a chilling statement accompanying the list, Iranian officials warned that these criminals will never sleep peacefully again, signaling an explicit threat that aims to intimidate those named and their supporters. Why Iran chose to exclude US Senator JD Vance while singling out Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, a contrast that raises questions about Tehran's priorities and the political calculations behind the list. The graphic depiction of Giorgia Meloni, UK Labour leader Keir Starmer, and French President Emmanuel Macron shown in prisoner jumpsuits has amplified fears and been framed by Iranian media as a terrifying new threat to Western leaders. An Iranian newspaper has run a striking and controversial graphic that places crosshairs over images of former US President Donald Trump and Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu, creating shock and alarm among international observers. The illustration was emblazoned with the ominous headline "Revenge is inevitable," paired with photographs of several world leaders to underscore the publication's threatening message. The graphic follows recent comments by Mojtaba Khamenei asserting that avenging his father's killing represents the will of the nation, remarks that have intensified concern about potential repercussions. Alongside Trump and Netanyahu, the image included senior figures from the United States, top Israeli officials, and a number of prominent European politicians, signaling a broad and alarming focus. The montage specifically named or depicted individuals such as Israel's Israel Katz, commentator Pete Hegseth, US Senator Marco Rubio, and actor Bradley Cooper, drawing attention for its eclectic mix of political and public figures. Other notable faces in the graphic included Israeli politicians Eyal Zami and Gideon Saar, along with European leaders Emmanuel Macron, Keir Starmer, Friedrich Merz, and Giorgia Meloni, broadening the list of targets. Notably absent from the image was US Senator JD Vance, a surprising omission given recent reports that he has been involved in leading US-Iran diplomatic contacts. The newspaper released the graphic together with a statement attributed to Mojtaba Khamenei dated July 9th, linking the visual threat directly to his public remarks. In that statement, Mojtaba vowed to avenge what he called the blood of all the martyrs, language that invokes deep emotional and political resonance in Iran and the region. He went further by declaring that revenge is not merely a personal vow but a national demand that must certainly take place, a phrase that has heightened international alarm and raised questions about possible actions.
We pledge to you that we will avenge your pure blood, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, and the blood of all the martyrs of these two wars from the disgraceful criminal killers. This revenge is our people's demand, and it must inevitably be achieved. These criminals, of whom there is a complete list of names from first to last, will carry with them to their graves or wish to die a peaceful death in their beds. They must know that this matter does not depend on my presence or the presence of other officials. Whether we are here or not, this will be achieved, and soon, free people of the world will each carry out a part of this divine mission.
Trump ordered a fresh round of military strikes on Iran as the fragile US-Iran confrontation erupted into another major escalation across the Middle East. The United States launched its third wave of strikes in a week after accusing Iran of attacking a civilian vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. US Central Command said the operation was ordered after the IRGC allegedly carried out a blatant attack on a civilian cargo ship transiting the Strait of Hormuz. The Cyprus-flagged cargo ship was reportedly left burning, suffered major engine room damage, and was unable to continue its voyage after the alleged attack. US Central Command said President Trump ordered the strikes to make Iran pay a heavy price for targeting commercial shipping in the Gulf. Statement by US CENTCOM read, and I quote, "At 7:15 p.m. ET today, US Central Command forces began launching the third round of strikes this week against Iran, after Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps forces blatantly attacked MV GFS Galaxy, a Cyprus-flagged container ship transiting the Strait of Hormuz. A civilian crew member is missing and the vessel is unable to continue the journey due to an onboard fire and significant engine room damage. Iran was provided yet another opportunity to demonstrate adherence to the Memorandum of Understanding. after being held accountable for earlier attacks on commercial vessels but has again failed. In response, the United States is imposing a heavy cost by continuing to degrade Iran's ability to attack civilian mariners and commercial ships freely transiting the Strait. The strikes are being carried out at the direction of the Commander-in-Chief. Unquote. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth declared, Iran made a poor choice. Now they pay, as Washington defended the latest military action. The United States accused Iran of once again violating the Memorandum of Understanding, saying the latest strikes were a direct military response. Footage circulating online and cited by RT News allegedly shows HIMARS rocket launches from Bahrain toward targets inside Iran. Reports also claimed another wave of U.S. strikes on Iran was launched from Kuwait as operations expanded across the Gulf. Explosions were reported in Bandar Abbas as fresh strikes rocked multiple military-linked sites across southern Iran. Additional blasts were reported in Avaz, Minab, Asaluya, Sirik, and Chabahar as the latest attacks unfolded. Iran's Fars news agency reported multiple explosions across Bushehr province during the new wave of U.S. strikes. The latest escalation came after Iran allegedly fired warning shots at a commercial vessel transiting the Strait of Hormuz, according to U.S. claims. Statement by Iran's IRGC Navy read, and I quote, "In our previous statement, we said that foreign interference and the illegal determination of shipping routes in the Strait of Hormuz will be met with our decisive response and will disrupt the process of normalizing traffic in the strait. Incited by foreigners, several vessels attempted to move through an unauthorized route, disregarding warnings. To correct their course, consequently, a vessel that had jeopardized maritime security by switching off its systems was struck and brought to a halt. Following this incident, the Strait of Hormuz is closed until further notice, and until the end of U.S. interference in this region, no vessel will be permitted to transit. If the enemy, under the pretext of this incident, which it itself caused, carries out any new act of aggression, it will be met with a severe response, and new enemy bases in the region will be targeted." Unquote. Iran's IRGC declares the Strait of Hormuz closed until further notice, dramatically escalating tensions across one of the world's busiest shipping routes. Tehran says the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed until what it calls U.S. interference in the Middle East comes to an end. The IRGC warns that no commercial or military vessel will be allowed to cross the Strait of Hormuz without Iran's approval. Meanwhile, Oman proposes two separate shipping corridors in an effort to reduce tensions and keep maritime traffic flowing. Muscat reportedly suggests dividing operational responsibility for the Strait of Hormuz between Oman and Iran under new arrangement. Iran rejects the proposal, insisting that any future security arrangement must involve joint control of the entire Strait of Hormuz. Tehran reportedly fears separate shipping corridors could permanently divert global maritime traffic away from Iranian-controlled waters.